Secondary literature are review index abstract or textbook up to 4 to 5 years, and tertiary literatures are encyclopedia handbooks up to 7 to 10 years. These are the flow of scientific information. Evaluation the source and content of information. The authority of the journal can be checked in you know checked in periodic information periodical diary. You have to search your information right or not. If this information are inside the rich international periodical diary, then you can find these articles are good. The information is good. So that you have to check the information is inside the periodic uh, international periodical dictionary or not. Okay. The key term about literature review or referencing, citing or citation, it is the acknowledging a document from which you have obtained information or draw idea in the main body or text of your writing. This is called citing or citation. Acknowledge the document from which you have to obtain information, drawing idea in the main body text or your writing. References or cited or reference cited is a detailed description of document from which you have obtained information or idea at the end of the page document. Citing and citation you can do in the body or text, putting surname and year of publication. The bibliography is a list of document and publication you have consult in producing your work or the consult. So these are the major citing, citation, reference, or cited reference or bibliography. Citation and references. Referencing is the standard method of acknowledging source of information and idea that have used in the research. Direct quotation, direct quotation, fact, as well as idea and theory from published and unpublished work must be referred. Reference is important. There are different methods of documentation, citation, referencing sources. Common method is APA. AFU also use APA. It is a seventh edition version available in the website also. You have to use APA, American Psychological Association, AFU it. The publication manual of the American Psychological Association offer detailed information regarding citation, quotation, reference, and so on. Another is Harvard system was developed in 1940 and has been updated periodically. It usually uses author data system. There is also widely used for citation and referencing. Another is manual style of University of Chicago is also widely used for citation, quotation, and references. Other are ACA style guide. It is the American Chemical Society guide is published by American Chemical Society. The style guide explains how organize numbering the number of references. You have to put number also. There are APA, Harvard System, Manual of Chicago, University of Chicago, SC style. These are very common, but normally you have to use APA style in our AFU guidelines. Also, IES, Institute of Animal Science, uh, IEAS, Institute of Agriculture and Science under TU is it has all its style. It is called IEAS style of referencing, mixture of other style, not own. See bulletin also detail. Well, citing references and bibliography, academic work or any kind, it makes refer to book, article, and other document that the has consult during writing. Acknowledgement of this source is commonly known as referencing or citing bibliography or references. You must cite and make reference to a source you have used if you make a direct quote from the source or have used the writer idea in your own work. It is important to cite bibliography also. Reference for three reasons. The first reason is to acknowledge the source idea of other you have used in establishing your. To acknowledge the source or idea of other you have used in establish your own argument, distinguish between your idea and those someone else. Second is to enable those reading your work to identify the track in the source you have used to formulate your idea. So, a reader, the range and quality of your reading, and direct readers to the source you have used if they want further information. Failure to do so is an appropriate way result in a question of plagiarism. Plagiarism is a very problem which regard as serious for offense in academic institution. Failure to acknowledge of the information or using other people's idea in your own is called plagiarism, serious academic dishonesty. So that you have to check plagiarism also very important. An understanding of how to correctly acknowledge source you have used in your for essential. If you talk about reference and bibliography, a reference is a list of the content only the book, article, and web page, etc. that are cited in the text body of the document only. And bibliography include all source consult for background or further reading. If there is no inside the content, but you have to understood and write it, consult it, you have to write a detail, then it became bibliography. Bibliography is broader than references. Citation and referencing is the course we are using the convention of American psychology as APA style mainly in APP. Many journal publish note of authors for using reference materials in an assessment from paper or thesis. You need to follow rules or make a decision about which concern to use. You have to use APA style. Uh, while talking about putting differences in the body. Body means it is also called content or it is also called text from introduction to conclusion part. It is body. While citation or sometime when you are writing, you will use some else idea, concept or figure, but not the person exact word. This is called citing as opposed to quoting when you use someone exact word. In this situation, you acknowledge your source, putting the author's last name or surname and year the work was published in the parenthesis at the end of the sentence. Education, for example, education qualification are seen as irrelevant to the farmer by many Nepalese, according to Dekuta 1999, semicolon after that, Tiwari 2001, Kotter, semicolon after that, Kotter 2009, Oza 2011. Many reference here. Please note that when two sources are cited, each one is separated with a semicolon. Also note that when you cite two or more authors in the same sentence, the order is arranged by the year of publication, not alphabetical by surname. Short quotation. Quoting a year in scientific writing, but if you are using the author own word and putting the quote into your own para, put the word in quotation mark and include a page number at the end of the references like this. For some Nepalese, this country is no longer an agricultural nation. Nepal has grown diversified, determined never to be reliant on the single industry and market. This is a quotation. We have come of age internationally. This is the quotation. Butterai 1998 ph 67. Okay, you have to put when quotation, you have to quote it the quotation and put the page number also. For another quotation is water and its availability will be the main pressure on an issue for society and environment under climate change, according to Batis et al. 2008. Et al. Means more than two author. You have to use et al. 2008, page number 23. Note that when the quotation in a sentence, the full stop come after the information in parenthesis. The author names and year of publication appear at the end when direct quotation is made. Okay, the APA style guides. APA methods is widely used style of citing and referencing the social science area also. We also recommended that its method should be flow. And the AP style guidelines also available in a few journal, Agriculture and Forestry University Journal, in the DORES website also, Directory of Research and Extension website. You have to check. Guys, single author okay publication like Pandey 2000 stress or the business farmers think globally in parentheses Pandey comma 2000 after that parenthesis close. When a work is authored by two individuals, the surname of both authors are cited, like Kattel and Ulrich 2009 pointed out that. But if you put this Kattel and Ulrich 2009 at the end of the sentence, like parenthesis using started from Kattel and 2009, then your A and D is symbolic and not this and. You have to check in APA style. When a work has more than two authors, cite all author first time a reference occurs and subsequently include only the surname of the first author pro by et al. For example, not Italian, but actually Sukla et al. 2003 found that at all. It means the it is set on is it is set right? AL all after full stop. In revised version of APA in 7 edition, you have to start surname of first author and after that at all. But older one, you have to put up to five surname of each author and year. After again you refer this, then you have to put at all. This is the guidelines. If some author has published different articles in the same year, then like then if you cited this, then you have to do like this. Cattell 2008, 2009 A, 2000 B found that. If Cattell published two articles in the same year, you're going to cite it, then you have to distinguish by A, B, C writing after the year. If no author is given in the for the work, treat the title as a authors. For example, the specification writer job is likely to change. Style Manual 1992. When a work author is unknown, cite the text work anonymous followed by the command by year, like anonymous 2011 if author is unknown. If date of publication is unknown, then you have to write year what. Bhandari year what according to Bhandari, comma year what if publication is unknown. In this way, you have to do it. Okay, personal communication through leisure, memo, telephone conversation, and the like should be cited in the text body of the report only and not included in the reference list since these are not restricted data. In this test, provide the initial as well as the surname of the communicator together with the date. While personal communication, you have to cite it in the body, but it is not right detail in the at the end in the referencing. For example, you have to start first name, initial letter, after that surname. A. Pradhan. Personal communication, November 15, 2011. Fill that. F. This is Forindra Nipane. F. Nipane. Personal interview, April 7, 2010. Fill that. P. Regni. P. Regni. Personal letter, Professor Trivandrum University, January 4, 2012. Argue that. However, for sharing this cost and benefit is not clear at individual level through farmers has been receiving some material support from the project. For example, PP Regni personal communication decision 2008, 28, 2011. Okay, these are the personal communication. You have to cite it in this way in the body. Initial letter of the first name, initial name, initial letter. After that, surname and middle name also in this way. But it is not necessary to cite detailed referencing of this personal communication. Keep in mind. Okay, there are lots of example here. You have to check it. There are many articles. Mm. The reference list contain bibliography information each source like this is arranged alphabetically by the sir of the authors. When referencing, then the list is arranged alphabetically by the surname of the authors. For in detail referencing, present information for all entire in the order. Author name, date of publication, title, publication information. Note for the detail, please read APA style of referencing. Okay, for that you have to read some articles in APA style of writing. मेरो के छ यो आफूले पढ्ने एपी स्टाइल अफ रिफरेन्सिङ रिफरेन्सिङको बुक पनि छ यु हेभ टु चेक इट there are some articles also you have to search on Google, like Technology Society, other article I publish in high impact factor journal, and style of phrasing is APA. Check it. यसमा के छ रिफरेन्सिङको आफैले डिटेल हेरे है एपी स्टाइल इज मेजर at least you should know the basic concept of referencing and referencing. मैले बोले सुनेछ मैले बोले सुनेछ कि छैन रिफरेन्सिङको आफूले हेरे त्यो बुक पनि छ है बुक हेरेर पनि हुन्छ त्यहाँ बुक पनि होला भरत कहाँ अस्ति मैले पब्लिस हेरेको छु एग्रिकल्चर प्रोजेक्ट प्लानिङको डिटेल छ त्यहाँ एक्सटेन्डेड फर्म नि छ यु हेभ टु चेक इट ओके हामीले डिआइडी मोडल पनि पढ्यौँ होइन डिफरेन्स इन डिफरेन्ट मोडल मोन्टेरो एन्ड इभ्यालुएसनमा okay now we'll talk about abstract and summary. This is the part of report writing part. The well, abstract or writing summary or abstract. Normally, project summary is research summary. It's written as a future tense in the proposal. But abstract is written after in the at the reports or journal articles. It is the summary of the summary. Abstract is the summary of the summary. It is the conclusion of the conclusion. Writing abstract, these are the main feature you have to include. Like introduction, you have to introduce your research with a rationale and put some objective, key objective, and research methods, your study site, design, sample and sampling technique, data analysis. And you have to explain a little bit about variable. There are two types of variable, dependent and independent variables. And you have to write some expected or output with conclusion and policy recommendation. While writing the abstract, normally 200 to 500 words you have to write, or some journal offer only 100 words. So that normally 250 words is very common for writing the abstract for journal article, but thesis one page, around one page. And at the end of the abstract, you have to write keywords, 3 to 5 keywords that reflect your research. And if you do your research like socioeconomic research, then you have to put your jail code. Jail code is Journal of Economic Literature. JEL codes for okay, based on your research titles and abstracts reflection, you have to check what are the major codes, jail codes, GEL codes, including your research and put it. Okay. So furthermore, okay, you have to read some abstract from Google Unit. Then we will discuss detail about this. Okay, tomorrow we'll just show some abstract example. Uh, how to write abstract. There are some guide. You have to strictly follow the guidelines provided by report donors or journals. How to write abstract and overall, then you have to do it. Okay. Another part is important is footnote and endnote. Footnote and endnote are very common. Well, you have to explain details of the text at the same page, at the end of the same page. It is called footnote. It is done by numbering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 automatically over 5. But endnote, all numbers you have to write at the end of your conclusion. It is before reference and in the after conclusion. You have to put add a separate heading endnote and put all number detail. These are the key difference between endnote and footnote. Okay, the main difference between footnote and endnotes is the footnotes are placed numbering at the foot of the very same page with direct reference are made, while endnotes are placed numerically at the end of the essay or separate page entitled endnote or notes. Both 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 footnote and endnotes has used for same purpose. Normally, following purpose like bibliographical information, copyright permission, explanatory information, supplementary but related information, source of explore of topic further, expansion on a specific idea or thought, and background information. The biggest difference between footnote and endnote is where the note are placed. That is only difference. Footnotes appear at the bottom of the page for the any notes that apply to each specific page. Endnote appear collectively at the end of the paper. They start on a separate page and label as endnotes. These are the key difference. But purpose, place also difference, but purpose is same. Okay. Similarity between footnote and endnote I have already mentioned. While the location differ for each footnote and endnotes have a few things in common, both references are placed at the end of the sentence, perhaps a quotation in which they appear to minimize the interruption in the flow of the word. Both are noted with conservative and subscriptive numbers. Both require a matching numbers to appear at the beginning of the actual footnote or endnote. Before using footnote or using endnote, you must understand the advantages and disadvantages of each. The another is proofreading. You have done proofreading many times. Proofreading is the reading of galley proof or elective copy of publication to direct or correct production error of the text or art. Proof readers are expected to be consistently accurate by default because they occupy the last stage of typographic production before publication. Use track change mode for proofreading. Normally, people use track change mode for proofreading. You have to, okay, proofreading is quite important. Okay, there's three difference between summary, abstract, and conclusion. A summary is a brief note that gives us the overview, idea, insight about a major topic in a paper. Abstract is the short note that expresses the context of the body. It is the conclusion of the conclusion. And conclusion is the statement decision reached by the researcher based on finding of the research. They are the key difference. Hmm. So we talk about conclusion. Hung turn abstract can be defined as summary of the information in the document at the beginning. Conclusion chapter is summary of the main idea, and there are some references also. I have already mentioned the abstract is 200 to 300 words limit. It is summary of the summary. When writing abstract introduction with rationale of the study, objective focus, research method with model, if you have key results and conclusion and policy implication, if any, and use 3 to 5 words at the end of the abstract. Well, it is a way of writing abstract. Some journal article provide that, okay, you have to give the subheading for abstract, like introduction, objective, research methods, finding, and conclusion. In this way. Another part is acronyms and abbreviation. You know about this acronyms and abbreviation. Okay, acronyms and abbreviation both are the shorter form, and you have to write detail as acronyms and abbreviation at the top before the abstract. Acronyms words like NUTA, NATO, RADOS, or NAFO form from the initial letter of each other successive part of major part of the compound form. Abbreviation or short form of the writing word or phrase used in the place of the whole, like AMT. It is abbreviation of amount. KG is the abbreviation of the kilogram. So abbreviation acronyms are both shorter version of the something else. Okay, both can often represent the series of letters. Many people are unable to tell the difference between abbreviation and acronyms. There is a great deals of the overlap between acronyms and acronyms also. Every acronyms is the abbreviations because the acronyms is shorter form of the word or phrase. However, not every abbreviation is the acronyms, since some abbreviation is made from the word are not new word form for the first few letter as there is a word. You have to read this. Abbreviation is shorter form of the word, like NY is the new word, MR is Mr., LB is pound, CTM is the carton, the million common abbreviation used every day. Like January, February, you have to write short form. This is also abbreviations. Even AB, the Avenu, like I have already mentioned, and ATM, and also KG. These are abbreviations. Acronyms be pronounced as a word, else it is merely initialism, like NATO, NAFO, HOMS, I, are acronym, but IBM, GMO, ATM are not. AFU is the also acronyms. AFU. Acronyms technically must spell out in other words. However, there is rules is always digital enforced. Like AFU, FU is also acronyms. FU, MOELD, AFU, and these are the acronyms. These are the difference between acronyms and abbreviations also. ओके टाइम सकिँला आज आजलाई यति गरौँ भोलि म समराइज गरिदिन्छु अलिकति तिमीहरू डिआइडी मोडल पढै पढेन डिआइडी मोडल पढेको पढेन मैले बोले सुने तिमीहरूले मैले बोले सुनेछ